Hello everyone. Welcome to yet another exciting session where we talk about stocks, direct equities, and commodities. I am Sonam Punjabi from Tata Capital Moneyfi, and I'm delighted to guide you through today's discussion. Before we jump into the insightful session, I have something fantastic to share with Moneyfi users. Now you can invest in stocks, IPOs, FNOs, commodities, and a lot more directly on the platform. I'm thrilled to introduce our guest today, Mr. Himanshu. Hi, Himanshu. We are very glad to have you. He's a SEBI registered research analyst and a presenter at Dhan. Welcome to
Thank you
the
so much.
webinar,
Thank
Himanshu.
you. Thank you so much, Sonam. Thank you, everyone. So I'm equally excited to talk about today's topic here, and I hope I'll be able to value add something to our viewers.
Most definitely, Himanshu. So to start with, can you help us? Commodities होती क्या हैं? क्या categories होती हैं? How are commodities market different from, say, an equity market? If you can throw some light on that.
Okay, wonderful. That's a great question to start with. So see, बहुत सारे लोगों को ये लगता है कि गोल्ड, सिल्वर, कॉपर सिर्फ यही कमोडिटीज होती हैं. Do you know
Yeah.
weather is also a commodity? By the way, do you know weather is also traded on exchanges? I mean, I'm not sure whether a lot of our viewers would be knowing this or not. Weather is traded, rainfall is traded, oxygen is traded, carbon is traded, water is traded. All these come under commodities only. So
That's
what are
pretty
commodities?
surprising.
Yeah, primarily commodities are something that can be consumed, and also they act as a raw material for someone, for some other product. Now you may think about it, कि how are we consuming weather? So our crops are consuming weather, right? और क्रॉप्स को हम
Yeah.
कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं, तो इनडायरेक्टली वी आर कंज्यूमिंग दिस वेदर. और वेदर नहीं होगा तो हम भी सर्वाइव नहीं कर पाएंगे, रेनफॉल नहीं होगी तो हम भी सर्वाइव नहीं कर पाएंगे. सो commodities, because the question was what are commodities, it is something that we consume. They act as a raw material. Commodities can be of different classifications, but the most widely followed classifications are hard commodity and the soft commodity. The ones that you find below the ground are called hard commodities. I mean, आलू भी जमीन के नीचे उगता है, but वो नहीं. I'm saying like the ones that which are mined or extracted, they are called hard commodities, and the ones that you find above the ground are called the soft commodities. So दुनिया में हार्ड और सॉफ्ट कमोडिटी दोनों की मार्केट बहुत बड़ी है. जस्ट दैट सॉफ्ट कमोडिटी की फिजिकल मार्केट, because we consume wheat, we
Yeah.
consume maize, barley, rice, all these products, potatoes and vegetables, fruits, vegetables, etc. Inki physical market is a very big market, while the financial market is relatively a smaller market. On the other hand, the financial market of hard commodities, and hard commodities, as I mentioned, उसका टच से कोई वो नहीं है कि मतलब हार्ड होनी चाहिए. इवन क्रूड ऑयल इज अ हार्ड कमोडिटी, नेचुरल गैस इज अ हार्ड कमोडिटी. इनकी मार्केट, गोल्ड, सिल्वर, कॉपर, इन सब की मार्केट, फाइनेंशियल मार्केट्स बहुत बड़ी है. रादर commodity market is called the mother of all markets because it drives the equity markets. Like
Okay.
अगर आप रिलायंस इंडस्ट्रीज देखें, अगर आप टाटा मोटर्स देखें, टाटा स्टील देखें, ये सारी कमोडिटी, ये सारी कंपनीज कमोडिटी की या तो प्रोड्यूसर है या कंज्यूमर्स है. More than 65 companies, more than 65% companies are the directly dependent on commodities, either as a producer or a consumer. So hard commodities की financial market बहुत बड़ी है. और so that was a brief introduction about the commodity market and how they are segregated across the world. Interestingly, India की market में, अच्छा, let me tell you something very interesting here. दुनिया में अगर हम फाइनेंशियल मार्केट्स की बात करें, if this is let us say equity, if let us say this is equity market, this is commodity market, and this is bond and currency market.
All right.
इंडिया में अभी उल्टा है. इंडिया में बॉन्ड और करेंसी मार्केट छोटी है, ये कमोडिटी मार्केट है और ये इक्विटी मार्केट है. दुनिया की तरह हम भी आने वाले सालों में बॉन्ड, करेंसी और कमोडिटी मार्केट में बहुत बड़ा वॉल्यूम गेन करने वाले हैं. ऐसा नहीं है कि इक्विटी मार्केट छोटी हो जाएगी, लेकिन बाकी सारी मार्केट्स इतनी बड़ी हो जाएंगी कि शायद आपको इक्विटी मार्केट उस समय छोटी लगे, क्योंकि आपका फिजिकल ट्रेड बहुत ज्यादा हो जाता है कमोडिटी मार्केट में. लेट मी टेल यू, गोल्ड का एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट जो एमसीएक्स पे इंडिया में ट्रेड होता है, उसकी वैल्यू इज अप्रोक्सीमेटली 78 लाख रुपीस, जबकि निफ्टी के एक लॉट की वैल्यू 10 लाख रुपीस है. अभी सेबी ने रूल चेंज किया, उसको बढ़ा के 20-25 लाख के आसपास कर रही है, तो हर जगह पे ट्रेडर्स के बीच में हो हल्ला हो गया है. जबकि कमोडिटी मार्केट तो हम, आई रिमेंबर, मैं 17 साल पहले भी जब ट्रेडिंग कर रहा था, तब गोल्ड 1 किलो का लॉट साइज हुआ करता था. रादर तब तो गोल्ड 10 किलो का भी लॉट साइज हुआ करता था. उसे कहते थे गोल्ड एचएनआई. 10 किलो
अच्छा.
का लॉट अगर हम आज की बात करें तो तकरीबन 8 करोड़ के आसपास का हो गया.
Correct.
तो गोल्ड की मार्केट्स बहुत बड़ी है, एज इन कमोडिटी मार्केट बहुत बड़ी है. और कमोडिटी मार्केट प्राइमरीली ये हार्ड और सॉफ्ट कमोडिटी में डिवाइड होती है. सो दैट वाज
Understood, understood.
फॉर माय
So,
नॉलेज.
Himanshu, let's zoom in a little and see where the action happens, right? The commodity exchanges.
राइट.
For someone who's new to trading, can you explain us about what a commodity exchange is? How does it work?
सर्टेनली, सर्टेनली. सो कमोडिटी की अगर हम बात करें तो दुनिया भर में कमोडिटी के बहुत बड़े बड़े एक्सचेंजेस हैं. जैसे प्रेशियस मेटल्स का, गोल्ड और सिल्वर का सबसे बड़ा एक्सचेंज है कॉमेक्स कमोडिटी एक्सचेंज, यूएस का. एग्रीकल्चर का है सीबॉट, शिकागो बोर्ड ऑफ ट्रेड. एनर्जी का है नाइमेक्स, न्यूयॉर्क मर्केंटाइल एक्सचेंज, अगेन फ्रॉम यूएस. ऑल थ्री आर फ्रॉम यूएस. मेटल्स का है लंदन मेटल एक्सचेंज, जो कि ऑफ कोर्स द नेम सेज लंदन, यूके. वहीं अगर हम इसके इंडिया के काउंटर पार्ट्स देखें, इंडिया का स्ट्रक्चर थोड़ा सा अलग है. जैसे यूएस में कॉमेक्स है, नाइमेक्स है. इंडिया में प्राइमरीली ये एक्सचेंजेस आई वुड से दो टाइप के हैं. एक ऐसे जिन्होंने अपनी मास्टरी करी है हार्ड कमोडिटीज पे, एंड द वंस विच हैव मास्टर्ड द सॉफ्ट कमोडिटीज. फॉर एग्जांपल एनसीडीईएक्स आई वुड से इज अ मास्टर ऑफ सॉफ्ट कमोडिटीज. जितनी भी सॉफ्ट कमोडिटीज हैं वो ज्यादातर एनसीडीईएक्स पे ट्रेड होती हैं. वहीं जितनी भी
All right.
हार्ड कमोडिटीज हैं वो प्राइमरीली दो एक्सचेंज पे ट्रेड होती हैं, एमसीएक्स और एनएससी. जिसमें से एमसीएक्स एक पुराना एक्सचेंज है जिसमें सबसे ज्यादा लिक्विडिटी इस समय एमसीएक्स पे है, जहां पर यू कैन ट्रेड इन गोल्ड, सिल्वर, कॉपर, निकल, लेड, जिंक, एल्यूमिनियम, क्रूड ऑयल, नेचुरल गैस. अराउंड 9 to 10 मेजर कमोडिटीज आर ट्रेडेड ऑन एमसीएक्स. इन्हीं में से कुछ कमोडिटीज एनएससी पे भी ट्रेड होती हैं, लेकिन एमसीएक्स बीइंग एन ओल्डर एक्सचेंज, वहां पर एक्शन की ज्यादा है. और कमोडिटी मार्केट में एक और चीज मैं यहाँ पर बताऊं, while equity market operates from 9 a.m. till or 9:15 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. कमोडिटी मार्केट का एक्चुअल एक्शन शाम को 5 बजे के बाद स्टार्ट होता है. मतलब इट्स अ आइडियल प्रोडक्ट फॉर अ ट्रेडर लाइक मी. अगर अगर मैं ट्रेडिंग कर रहा हूँ फुल टाइम, तो मैं सुबह 8 बजे उठ के निफ्टी को 9 बजे से लेकर सवा नौ साढ़े सॉरी सवा तीन साढ़े तीन बजे तक मैं उसको ट्रेड करना चाहूंगा. फिर मैं 1 घंटे का रेस्ट करूंगा और फिर उठ के मैं कमोडिटी मार्केट ट्रेड करूंगा अंटिल 11:30 p.m. और 11:55 p.m. And let me add one more point here. Commodity markets across the world are mostly open 24 hours a day. In India,
All
it is
right.
open for around 14 and a half to 15 hours a day. And I'm very optimistic कि आने वाले टाइम के अंदर इंडिया में भी commodity market will be open for extended hours. Maybe because hedging की बहुत ज्यादा रिक्वायरमेंट होती है यहाँ पर. मे बी
Understood.
टाटा स्टील को अगर हम सोचें, टाटा स्टील को आज रात को लंदन से कोई ऑफर आया, कि ऑर्डर आया कोई, तो उनको अपने स्टील के रिस्क को हेज करना है. अब अगर रात को कमोडिटी मार्केट खुली होगी तो वो रात को ही हेज कर पाएंगे. सो कमोडिटी मार्केट इज प्राइमरीली मेड फॉर हेजिंग पर्पसेस and less for speculative purposes. So hence it's a very large market, and the exchanges primarily are MCX, NCDEX, National Stock Exchange. These are the commodity exchanges.
गॉट इट. तो हिमांशु, आपके दिन में 15 घंटे आप क्या करते हैं वो तो हमारे व्यूवर्स को अब पता चल ही गया. बट नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन फॉर यू इज अराउंड द ऑयल मार्केट्स, राइट? ऑयल मार्केट्स आई बिलीव आर वन ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट एंड मोस्ट traded
One
commodity
of the
in the
yes, yes,
market, right?
absolutely,
And they
absolutely.
can be influenced by, say, a lot of geopolitical situations or supply and demand, some
Yes,
decisions made by groups like OPEC, etc. How does
absolutely.
this entire oil market work, if you can tell us that?
Great. I can talk about oil market for maybe around 10 hours at least. But yeah, this entire gist of 10 hours, I would like to cover in maybe next 1 minute or 30 seconds. See, this entire world's oil market, it was driven by OPEC until around 2020, 2014, say around 10 years, until around 10 years ago. OPEC, maybe Saudi Arabia used to be the biggest player. आज भी ओपेक इज अ लार्ज मार्केट. अच्छा, इस उससे पहले पहले हम ऑयल मार्केट की तरफ चले. एक चीज समझने की जरूरत है, क्योंकि एवरीवन अंडरस्टैंड्स ऑयल मार्केट एज इन तेल के कुएं होते हैं और वहां से ऑयल निकलता है. बट नॉट इन ऑल द कंट्रीज वी हैव तेल का कुआं. वी डू नॉट हैव दिस ऑयल वेल्स एवरीवेयर. वी हैव इट इन सऊदी अरेबिया, वी हैव इट इन दुबई, वी हैव इट इन यूएई, different areas of UAE. But what about India? We do not have any तेल का कुआं, but India still produces approximately 1.25 million barrels per day.
All
One
right.
barrel is around 150 or 160 liters. So we produce a decent amount of quantity, let's say around 25% of whatever we consume. So oil is basically produced by two different ways. One is this oil well, and the second is shale oil. Now, and this is what drives the oil market actually. That is why I'm going into technicality here. जमीन के नीचे, समुद्र के नीचे, there are so many rocks and stones and all, उसके बीच में oil फंसा होता है. We do minor blasting there and the oil comes out. These are
Correct.
called oil rigs. And when the oil comes out, this is called shale oil. So at one point in time, at one place, OPEC is the largest producer of oil. They produce around 35% of world's global oil production. On the other hand, US produces shale oil. Russia produces shale oil. So US produces approximately 20 million barrels per day out of 100. Russia produces almost 10 million barrels per day. So at one place, 35% OPEC oil wells, at other place around 30% this shale. Apart from this, we have India, we have Pakistan, we have Afghanistan, we have different countries. तो ये सारा भी 35-40% बनता है, ये सारा भी 35-40% बनता है. तो ये बाइपोलर वर्ल्ड है आपकी ऑयल मार्केट के अंदर. और इस तरीके से आपका नेचुरल गैस मार्केट की अगर हम बात करें तो नेचुरल गैस मार्केट भी आपका primarily driven by Ukraine and Russia. But anyways, natural gas market में हम अभी बाद में बात करेंगे. Oil market में so primarily ये दो चीजें हैं oil market के अंदर. और oil के जो largest consumers हैं, they are China, India, Japan and the US. So oil market is driven by OPEC, US, Russia on the production side, then China, Japan, India and the US on the consumption side. So this is the entire oil market. And 100 million barrels oil is produced every day and consumed every day. So there is one generic rule which I have been following. Now this should not be seen as a recommendation because as you mentioned that it is driven by geopolitics. One rule which I have seen or one thing which I have noticed is as soon as there is something in geopolitics, especially in Middle East, there is definitely going to be a bigger change in the oil market, whether on the upside or on the downside. Two things that impact the oil market heavily is the war or a warlike situation from the Middle East, and second, the monetary policies by the central banks. So, or maybe the economic situation of the countries. So these two things impact the oil market, and these two regions, for example, OPEC as well as US and some other things, some other areas, they are the drivers of the oil market. So the factors impacting are geopolitics primarily and the economic condition, and also the third one being the producer and the consumer, on which we have just had a discussion.
Understood.
I hope this was not too much.
No. Very insightful, Himanshu. But now that we've spoken about oil, we also wanted to understand what are the differences between, say, oil and natural gas, right? Both are important energy commodities for us, but I believe both are different. Both have different market dynamics.
Yes.
Oil, like you mentioned, is influenced by geopolitical events or
Right.
global economic conditions, right?
Yes.
Natural gas, on the other hand, could be impacted by weather patterns, etc. If you could talk more about that.
Yes, certainly. So oil and natural gas, the interesting part is why they are talked together is mostly because when we talk about the shale oil, in shale oil, oil and natural gas, they come out simultaneously. ये दोनों एक साथ निकलेंगे. ऑयल वेल्स में नेचुरल गैस का कोई काम नहीं होता है, तो वहां पर सिर्फ ऑयल होता है. लेकिन when we talk about the shale oil, which is again more than 35-40% of this entire world's production, so यहाँ पर आपका ऑयल और नेचुरल गैस दोनों साथ में निकलता है because they both are produced closely and together. Because of this, the factors impacting or I would say they have a very high correlation. So whenever the oil prices go up, even the natural gas prices are likely to go up. Whenever the oil prices go down, natural gas prices are also likely to go down. Also, one more thing, there's an important thing I would like to share here with my viewers. Whenever the oil prices go up, it means the production cost of almost everything will go up. Be it copper, be it gold, and especially the natural gas. So whenever the oil price will go up, let us say natural gas is a small baby, while crude oil is a parent. So if parent moves one kadam, the baby moves two kadam on the upside. So जैसे ही crude oil महंगा होगा, natural gas और ज्यादा sharply महंगा हो जाएगा. तो ये थोड़ा ज्यादा volatile version है crude oil का. ये एक छोटा बच्चा है crude oil का, जिनके factors, one, production of the crude oil itself, and the second, as you mentioned, the weather pattern. Why weather pattern? Because natural gas का सबसे बड़ा producer is Russia. और वहां पर वेदर इज एन इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, क्योंकि जिस मशीन से आप गैस निकाल रहे हैं और जो गैस इटसेल्फ निकल रही है वो जम जाती है. इसीलिए एक्सट्रीम विंटर्स में आपके नेचुरल गैस के प्राइसेस बढ़ जाते हैं. क्योंकि उसकी सप्लाई खत्म हो जाती है। एंड ऑल्सो उस टाइम पे आपके थिंक ऑफ कनाडा और थिंक ऑफ यूएस, जहां पर चिलिंग वेदर होता है, थिंक ऑफ सर्बिया, थिंक ऑफ रशिया। तो यहाँ पर गैस के थ्रू, जैसे हमारे यहाँ पर इंडिया में वी हैव इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जो थर्मल होती है, वहां पर गैस बिल्स आते हैं लोगों के, तो वो गैस की डिमांड बढ़ जाती है। इसीलिए वेदर इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर्स देयर। सो अनडाउटेडली दे दे बोथ मूव साइमल्टेनियसली टुगेदर विद ईच अदर, बट देन नेचुरल गैस का एक और फैक्टर ऐड हो जाता है विच इज वेदर, और उसका मैंने आपको रीजन बताया कि रशिया की वजह
Understood.
से ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट होता है और यूएस की वजह से।
Very, very insightful, Himanshu. But now that we've covered exchanges, we've covered oil and natural gas, etc., um, we would want to know, Himanshu, about the actual products that people are trading, right? Futures and options.
राइट राइट
There are typically two most common ways that you trade for commodities, and they can be very tricky to wrap your head around sometimes. If you can break it down to us and maybe give us real life examples from crude oil options, etc. If you can walk us through
sure
that.
sure 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 So I would like to share my screen here for a
Sure, sure.
few minutes. uh, So as you rightly mentioned that there are two different products. One is futures and other is options. So I would like to spend a couple of minutes on these products. So
Yes.
futures are relatively simpler to understand, wherein you go long, you go short, you buy and you sell. But in options, you can make money when the market goes up. You can make money when the market does not go up. Like for example, I would say there are four different type of product: call buy, call sell, put buy, put sell. Nevertheless, we'll be coming to that. So first I would like to show you or introduce you to the platform here where you can find out all these products. So one, you can simply click on these commodities to trade in some metals, and you can trade in energy contracts. So whenever you click on these commodity products, it will start showing you different type of commodities in futures as well as options. And also, for example, if I click here in the watch list section, if I simply type on crude oil, it will just start showing me the crude oil platform here. So basically, I did not have to give the space in between. So if I'll be clicking on this crude oil, it will start showing me both the products like crude oil futures as well as options. So see, there are two different type of futures available in crude oil, and rather in many of the commodities, there are different type of products available for trading. Like in crude oil, we have two types of products. One is crude oil future, which has 100 barrels of crude oil. Like for example, crude oil is trading at 6,000 rupees. So 6,000 into 100 barrels is basically 6 lakh rupees का पूरा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो गया आपका।
Okay.
और उसके लिए आपको मार्जिन थोड़ा चाहिए होगा। और अभी फिलहाल एवर सिंस द रशिया यूक्रेन वॉर हैज स्टार्टेड, तो ये मार्जिन लेवल थोड़े से इंक्रीज कर दिए एक्सचेंज ने, बिकॉज द प्रोडक्ट हैज बिकम वॉलेटाइल. At the same time, you see there is something called crude oil mini future. So someone who wants to start trading in crude oil, they can trade in crude oil mini futures, जहां पर आपका लॉट साइज सिर्फ 10 बैरल का है. So for every 1 rupee up and down, you make or lose 10 rupees only. So this entire lot size is of only 60,000 rupees. And the margin requirement would be, let us say, 20, 25, 30,000 rupees. So anyone who wants to try trading in the commodity may come up with, may start trading with these kind of products. Now, let us have a look at this futures contract. In this futures contract also, technically in crude oil, there are very few contracts in India which have the products or which have the contracts available until next 1 year. Liquidity nahi hai, that's a different thing. But then exchange has launched the product for the next 1 year. Liquidity सबसे ज़्यादा you will find in the current month, the next month, and the far month. So you can trade these products. For example, what is the kind of margin that you require? If you click on this November future contract, or you want to see the built up here, as in how the OI is getting built up. Now, I would not like to discuss OI in greater detail because for a beginner that will become too much to handle in the beginning. But let me tell my audience, let me tell my viewers one thing here, that these things, whether it is a short build-up or long unwinding or short covering or long build-up, these four things, even if you master these things in crude oil, you will be able to make money. Because understand, this market is open for 14.5 hours a day. So you will have so many trades during the day that you can check this data only. Maybe you can add some technical parameters into this, and then you can start making money out of this. And also, if you want to trade in options, you can simply go to the options builder. You can stay on this app also, or you can simply go to optionstrader.dhan, and then you can make your trading strategy by strategy builder. Like for example, I am mildly bullish in crude oil. So
Okay.
I will click on crude oil and I can make a strategy for myself. So whenever it goes up, I make some decent amount of money. Whenever it goes down, I lose a small amount of money. If I want to limit my loss or I want to increase my profit, I can increase or decrease the strike price here. Now it will increase or decrease the profit for me. So you can make these kind of strategies here. And also you can have some pre-built strategies. So, talking about the future and options, there are, I would say, the crux of the story is that there are two kind of products. Futures is relatively simple to handle and to understand. In which, in crude oil, you have two kind of contracts. One is 10 barrels and other is 100 barrels. To begin with, one can start trading in 10 barrels contracts to try the things, and then they can increase the position and make it many or multiple mini contracts. And then once the position has increased, they can move on to the bigger level contracts also. And if you want to trade in options, then you can trade in naked option. For example, you can simply buy call, or you can hedge your position. You can create strategies for yourself, and you can also have some pre-built strategies here. As you can see on the screen, you can have some pre-built strategies where you can trade the futures using the pre-built strategies, for example, bull call, bear call, etc. So as I said, that options are very intriguing to begin with. So I would not like to delve deeper into options here. Otherwise, it will take a lot of time. But yeah, these products are beautiful in crude oil, and they have a very good amount of liquidity also to begin with. Even if you have some few hundreds of lots you want to trade, you will be able to easily trade these kinds.
Very, very nicely explained, Himanshu, and every other time, very comprehensively explained to all our viewers who would have any queries around commodities for oil and natural gas, etc. And this brings us to the end of the discussion, Himanshu, but it's been a fantastic discussion. Thank you so much for your time and for the knowledge shared with our viewers.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure, and I
Yeah,
hope
and a
to.
big thank you to all of you watching, and hope you found this session valuable. It's a wrap for today's commodity trading session, and remember, commodities are fascinating world, but as with all investments, keep learning, stay curious, and never trade more than you can afford to lose. That's what Himanshu has been taking us through all the details, and
and
thanks for joining, and
and
happy
also
trading, guys.
and also Sonam, I would like to, with your permission, I would like to request our viewers here, that if you have any questions about whatever we have discussed in this session, you may always come up with those kind of questions in the comment section, and we'll be happy answering all of them. Maybe you can ask something about the crude oil, natural gas, or whatsoever. So we'll be happy, or any question on the platform or how to use it, we'll be happy answering all of them.
Absolutely. Thanks for that plug-in, Himanshu. That was very important for our viewers, and they can reach out to us anytime. They can write to us, and of course, in the comment section. Have a wonderful day, Himanshu, and thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you, Sonam. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye. Take care.
Investments in the securities market are subject to market risk. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.